Hi, Stitchers.
Hi, I'm Keisha.
I'm Laura. Welcome to the Pattern Queens episode 102. Today is Sunday, October 16th, and this is a channel about cross stitch.
And friendship and rambles and lots of shenanigans and talking to your friend for a half hour before you decide to actually start filming.
And we talked for a half an hour so that we could come up with the winners from our 100th episode and 1,000 subscribers. So that's exciting. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm noticing that somehow my hair has landed like really nice, and I have
you got like a little
curl. Yeah.
No, you are camera ready today.
It is nice when that happens, and in my favorite color, obviously.
Yeah.
So
I like that sweater. It's nice.
thank you. Katie had turned on the attic fan last night, and I got up and started in, and it was 59 degrees in our house. So I turned that fan off and I put a sweater on. So, thank you to everyone for joining us. We just jumped in and started chatting. That's kind of our way. You'll figure that out if you're new here. Thank you. And if you are coming back, oh, thank you so much for staying with us.
We're so glad that you're here. And thank you for just knowing that we're going to get right into chatting and not caring.
And we'll see how we do today. Let's hear some life updates because they are not fun this week, are they?
Oh no. Well, one person in my family has an ear infection, and it's not who you'd expect. It's not the toddler, it's my husband. And then the toddler and I both have a little bit of a stomach thing. I think I'm over it. I think he's over it too. So that's good news. Today we've just been playing, and my son came up to me and he goes, "Pumpkin patch?" It's like, "We're not going to pumpkin patch today, buddy."
Every day, Mom, every day.
Right. So he is full on in the fall spirit. I don't know if I've mentioned on here before that his new favorite pastime is finding walnuts in our yard. We've had a couple of little storms come through and a lot of wind. So it's been knocking all the walnuts off of our tree. And he's been gathering them all and putting them in a pile for the squirrels to have for their dinner.
Oh.
So he'll wake up. First thing, whenever he wakes up, he'll go, "Watch show, Mom?" And almost every day the answer is, "No, we can't watch a show. We've got to get ready to go to daycare." And then the next question is, "See walnuts?" If you get ready for school, we'll go see the walnuts.
That's too funny.
So, what are the updates with you?
Well, I am over the worst of whatever it was that I had, but I still have this nasty cough, which Keisha has gotten to witness prior to us getting started. And hopefully we will just get past it and be done with it because it is not a fun thing. And we celebrated Jeff's birthday yesterday. I was telling Keisha one of the fun things that Katie found for us to give him is a t-shirt. And this is an old reference, guys. If you don't know what this is, go Google it and watch it. She found him a t-shirt and it says, "The first annual WKRP turkey drop." And Les Nessman is standing at the bottom saying, with the turkeys raining down, saying, "As God is my witness, I thought they could fly." So it's too good.
It's so good.
And him having an October birthday means it's the perfect time to get it.
Right.
So just too fun. And he got to request birthday dinner, and Katie was feeling very adventurous. So he requested Julia Child's beef bourguignon.
Oh,
it's really just fancy beef stew.
Right.
So, yeah. So that's what he had. And then scotcheroos for dessert, because you got to have those.
Well, yeah, who doesn't want that?
So I think that's it. Do you have any stash this week?
I don't have any stash I can show. I will let you know that I got the treat box from the Black Needle
Oh,
Society, and it was truly one of the best boxes that I've gotten in a while. And I love all of your boxes, as you know, but that one was so good, and I'm so excited about the things in there. So
it was a Keisha box, huh?
it was someone just looked at me and said, "This is what you like for Halloween, right?" And they were correct.
Okay. Excuse me. I didn't ask you. Do you have any finishes this week?
I do not have any finishes. I have something that is so close to a finish, but not quite finished.
I don't have any finishes this week either. And I'm starting to feel that pressure because, my goal is to finish at least one thing every month. And I've
Mhm.
been successful for the first 9 months of the year. So
Right.
I'm like, oh, got to get there.
Yes, for sure.
So do you want to just jump into whips?
Yeah, let's get to it. So, the whip that I'm really, really close on is Spooky
Mm.
Cage from Mill Hill, and I started this on the first. And here's where I am. I just need to do the beads, and there are not that many beads in this thing. Um, and
Wow.
and then there's also you cut it out and you do a little loop of beads for the how the cage hangs. So I'm really close. I thought I was going to finish that this week, but I underestimated just the huge amount of backstitch in that thing.
Wow.
That just took me a really long time. So I didn't get it finished, but all the backstitching's done. It's just beads, cutting it out and doing that loop. So I'm excited about that. The next thing I worked on is Halloween Tiny Town from Heart and Hand. And
So
I just
cute.
love this one. So I'm stitching this on a piece of 36 count vintage country mocha with the suggested DMC conversion. And this is where I am now.
Is that an owl on the pumpkins
So on the pumpkins, it's
or
a
a
ghost.
ghost? Okay.
This is my silly owl whose
Ah,
French knot eyes are a little bit wonky. So he looks like he's been imbibing a little bit. So
uh,
um, but that's okay. I like him. Uh, so the ghost on top of the pumpkins in the middle is the middle of the chart. So
nice.
I'm getting there. I will finish this month. And it looks really, really tiny. So um here's my mill hill compared to it.
Oh,
So it's actually a tiny town. So,
so fun.
and then the last thing I worked on was Halloween wreath from the Frosted Pumpkin. And this is the part that's out right now. This is the first part of it. It's in the middle of the wreath. And this one is still in the hoop because I was working on this last night. But here's where I am on it.
Look how cool.
I
Love
really like
this
it. And this
part.
is on a piece of 28 count pewter from Picture This Plus.
When does the next part drop?
Let me see. I don't remember that. It comes out on November 7th. So
Oh, that's not bad.
no. So my goal is to get it finished before the next part comes out. So I'm moving right along on that. And this all lives in my thriller bag from last year from the Black Needle Society. And yes, it's a thriller bag. Yes, Michael Jackson, but mostly Vincent Price
Yes.
because it's his time of year.
Don't you just hear his voice every time you pick that up?
We just watched Tales of Terror starring Vincent Price on Friday night. Vincent Price is one of my favorites. And I say that Halloween is his time of year, but I also have a Christmas sweater with his face on it because it makes no sense and I love it. Even though he was Edward Scissorhands, which you could argue is a Christmas movie. So. But that's all I've got.
It's been a weird week for me. I have not been moving along quite as much. So I worked on Halloween by Allessandra Adelaide. I love this thing. They
Yes.
stitched theirs on black. Mine is on 32 count French lilac from Picture This Plus, which is a dark, dark purple.
Mhm.
Um, That's pretty good for the
Ooh,
fabric.
I
And
love it.
I can only do a little bit at a time. So what I did is this swirl that comes all the way down.
Mhm.
But I was happy to make that progress. I just need to kind of schedule it to have some regular stitching time on it, and it would move along more. But it seriously, it's just one that I just can't. It gets to be too much for my eyes, and
Right,
yeah.
right. Well, sometimes whenever you're doing one of those sorts of things, it's hard to count it out unless you're really paying attention. And then the struggle of that dark fabric,
Mhm.
because that fabric can be a little challenging.
And it is one that I really have to pay attention to because things have to line up. I mean,
Right,
I could be a little off here and there, but it will throw off every other part of that spider web. So
right.
I have this in a beautiful bag from Project Bags by Judy. Look at the owls. I love them.
Fun.
Okay, and then I pulled out from Dames of the Needle Jumping Cat, which
Oh,
is a really fun one. I love
mhm,
this thing. And what I have figured out is that I had started on the wrong thread with
oh,
this. And
mhm.
that's what made it a little bit more of a struggle. But this is on the 28 count Silkweaver Cashel. I got all three of those pumpkins in,
Look at them.
and I have some more of the viney greenery to put in.
Mhm.
And it's really this color.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Yeah. But what I figured out, is that really the cat is separate from all of
Mhm.
this. And
Right.
so when I finish with all of these little viney things, I'm going to move that cat over one thread, and I'm going to stitch that whole cat on the right thread.
Mhm. No
Oh,
one's gonna notice.
and by the way, look at that cat face. Are those the most scary teeth ever?
They really are, and those whiskers are out of control.
Mhm. And I bought myself a bunch of rusty stars to
Mhm.
um to put on this piece. So I'm probably
Mm.
not stitching the stars or only stitching a few of them.
Uh-huh.
I have this in a Love You More bag. Look at those women.
Mm,
Isn't that gorgeous?
love that.
I love the color on this. It's just so fun. And then my last one that I worked on this week is Halloween This Way from the Primitive Hare.
Love
So I had started kind of right here in the middle. Katie
that.
had
Mhm.
actually started this one, and we cross opposite, and I'm like, oh, I'll just turn it upside down and do it. And I was working on it, and what I figured out is that it too was on the wrong thread.
Mhm.
And that got to be more and more and more of a struggle. And I kind of quickly counted, and one sign had somewhere between 2,000 and 2,500 stitches.
Oof.
So I don't need to do 7 signs, all in the
Right.
wrong place. So I frogged it.
Ah.
And what I figured out too is that I had just flipped it over. Um, well, I guess I pulled out one part of hers and I started stitching, but I think I started stitching towards the opposite direction from what she was going. I
Mhm.
would not have had enough room on this fabric.
Oof.
And it's,
Right.
as it is, this one runs right into the
Right
bottom.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah. And at the other end where it is, you can tell there's a lot more stuff here. I would have been covering up most of this
Oh, wow. Well,
if
I'm
I
glad
could,
you discovered it when you did then.
yeah, if I could even have gotten it in. So my progress this week is not real exciting. The pumpkins were great, right? I
Nice.
spent an
Those are
extra
great.
day just trying to get all the way through the pumpkins.
Right.
But those are my whips for this week.
Nice. Well, they're fun ones anyway,
Yeah. I
and
mean,
now they'll be good whenever you pick them up again.
yeah, I enjoyed it too. So, I was bringing this back up because I think it's time. Do you think
Okay.
it's time?
I think it's time. It's
Keisha and
giveaway
I
time.
recently celebrated 100 episodes and 1,000 subscribers, and we are giving away um this beautiful chart, Autumn Town from Autumn Lane Stitchery. And the charts are signed. So you're going to get Erin's signature. And we ended up going through and just kind of randomly picking numbers. I had counted through everything and I just told Keisha, give me numbers.
Right.
And
And
the
what I discovered when I was looking at my list of, not that I was like picking, but I was like, oh, I'd like to go look at the picture of that person, is our commenters weren't in the same order even. So we couldn't have rigged it if we tried.
now, okay, I had resorted mine so that it would be newest first.
Ah, gotcha. Oh, and I didn't do that. So there you go. That's how it's.
Otherwise, yeah, otherwise it does top comments. How it decides what top comments are, I don't know. But
You're all top comments to us.
so the very first one that Keisha picked is
Chloe. Except for Chloe, as you know, it takes forever to get anything in Australia. So we're going to buy you a PDF version of
mhm,
the chart. And everyone, we've commented on your comment to let you know to get in touch with us.
mhm.
So if you hear your name, go look at that and see how to get in touch with us, please.
And because Keisha chose Chloe and we decided to go with the PDF version, we still have 2 of these. So we're actually going to have 3 winners now.
Yeah,
3's my lucky number. So,
yeah,
so
perfect.
our next person who won is Tyra J.
Oh, Tyra. She's been going back and
Congratulations.
watching our videos and has just been making lovely comments. So thank you so much. We're so happy to have you here.
I think Tyra got really sick this fall and she was like, oh, I just need to binge watch Flosstube. And she chose our videos to go back and she said, oh, there's such a difference in how things are from the beginning to now.
Right,
So,
right. I mean, you've been with us through some major life changes if you've
mm,
watched since the beginning. And we thank you for it. So
yes.
we're so excited to see your name come up.
And then our third winner is Michelle Geiger.
Hooray,
Michelle,
Michelle!
congratulations. And
Yes.
she's made some lovely comments
Mhm.
about that. She really enjoys seeing all of our whips and things. I'm so glad because we definitely are a crazy eclectic
Oh, you never know
pair
what
of
you're gonna get over
stitchers.
here.
Yeah, and what I can talk Keisha into. I mean,
Anything, anything.
I almost think that needs to be a segment. What can Laura talk Keisha into?
Right. Where you just try to get me to do progressively more and more either intricate stitches or just way out of my wheelhouse things.
Oh, speaking of, I was watching one of my favorite channels and the one of the stitchers picked up a chart and said, oh, this is one of my new charts, it'll be so fun to stitch this. And I know that that person is kind of a newer stitcher
Mhm.
and the chart is from the drawn thread.
Mm.
What do you know about the drawn thread?
I know that they seem intimidating, but you tell me that with all the specialty stitches, they have really good instructions.
So there are specialty stitches in like everyone that I've ever stitched.
Mhm.
And she may have some out there that don't have some, but I don't think this person has done any specialty stitches, but hopefully this will be a fun adventure for them.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, as a person who also hasn't done that many specialty stitches and decided to do it with Aberlowney 1825, just read the instructions and go for it. But get just a practice piece of linen or
mhm,
do it in your margins so that you can kind of play with it a little bit before you put it in your actual piece. Or put it in your actual piece and be like, this is where I learned how to do that.
there you go. It's kind of fun to have it in your margins because then it'll be framed in there with it, and it would
Mhm.
always be part of the piece.
Yes,
I
that's
like
nice.
that.
That's a
So,
good idea.
but those are our winners. That's kind of fun. I have been watching because we were in the under 1000 subs club for so long. I have been trying in our drop down box to name somebody different each week just to pull some people along and help them reach that milestone too. And
Mhm.
for most of us, you guys, it's not that we are trying to have over 1,000 subscribers. It's that there are some things that free up in YouTube that we can do and add more content once we hit that. We have to hit over 1,000. We have to have so many watch hours. There are 3 or 4 things we have to comply with in order to be able to do that. But it just really allows us to give you better content. So one of
Well, I
my
mean, we're happy if
favorites,
there's 2 of you here.
yeah, one of my favorites to watch is BoosMum, Boos Mum, and she's in the UK, and Boo is a cat, and she
Oh,
has
fun.
cats who will come and just like photobomb during the thing, and usually the tail wants to go right here.
Ah.
So it's fun, but she
Yeah.
stitches a big eclectic variety of things, and I just really enjoy watching her. So if you haven't watched her, go give her a watch.
Well, I haven't, so I should.
She's fun. And her videos are not real long, just kind of a nice little chat. She sits in her little chair and you just get
Mhm.
to have a visit with her. So,
Oh, nice.
so that's my one for this week. How about plans?
Well, my plans are to stitch more on Halloween Tiny Town and to finish Spooky Cage. And when I finish Spooky Cage, then I'm going to start Eyeball Martini. Those are my 3 that I want to finish this month for my 13 stitches of Halloween to get up to 13 finishes. Will it happen? I don't know. I was telling Laura I came in
Stay
here.
tuned.
I came in here and Halloween Tiny Town is way more stitches than I thought it was going to be. Tiny's in the name, but it's not true. And so I was looking. I also have this pattern from the Black Needle Society, this Spooky Stories bookmark and scissor fob. And so if it feels like I'm not going to get 13 finishes this month, I might pull this one out and stitch it instead. So
I stitched that one pretty fast. So,
mhm. So stay tuned to see what I actually do finish, as Laura said.
but
But
also, the Black Needle will be hosting our monthly chat on Saturday, the 29th. So if you
ooh,
haven't finished, maybe you can just, lock yourself away and have some concentrated stitching time with us.
sorry, boys, I've got to stitch.
I'm meeting a goal.
Right.
Excuse me. I have completed 8 of my 13 stitches of Halloween. So, and really, I have 14. I'm trying to just get through the rest of these. And then I would really like to, I just went brain dead on you. I would like to find some time to be able to work on my life after death as well.
Mhm.
I did see that my whip go calls for this month are the whip closest to a finish and the whip furthest from a finish. Um, and I'm doing these like 2 days at a time because of how Katie and I are filming.
Right.
So I feel like I will have given my time to those anyway. But also, I still have 2 squares on my whip go board that are Halloween projects. Just
Mm,
500 stitches on a Halloween project.
right.
I'm completing those this month in advance.
Yeah.
And yeah. And hopefully those will come up in December because December is where I think I have like 17 projects or some ridiculous thing on my list.
Right.
But there's also still a month in there with Keisha's Choice
Blackberry House.
I'm hoping comes up next month. And it may just come up next month anyway, and I'll just do it in advance. Um, my next one that I pulled is a Halloween sampler, and this is from Homespun Elegance. This one is really cute, and I
Mhm.
really like it. This is my tiny little start on it,
Oh,
and
with
it's
my
been like this forever.
mhm.
And I looked in my stash because I thought, why am I not getting more progress on it? Well, I have every color pulled except the black.
Oh.
And it calls for onyx or like 3371.
Mhm.
But I figured out, I mean, I've done this E and I'm on this. So I could stitch this moon, I could stitch this pumpkin, I could stitch these letters, I could do all of this, I could do the framework. I could
Right.
get so much done without having the dark color. And probably If we get the chance, I'm going to the Stitch Day next Saturday.
Mhm.
And so we'll be out by the LNS and I will run in and just grab whatever color, onyx or whatever, to stitch up the rest of that.
Mhm.
I'll already be past it, but at least I will buy it and put it in there.
Right. So then it's not a barrier to sitting down and working on it again.
Which is part of my process this year. Just trying to make sure that my whips really are all ready to go.
Yeah, that's good. Because then you can just pick it up and you don't have to think about it.
hmm And Keisha and I keep talking about 2023 plans. They are so, you guys, we should just film ourselves talking because
Right. Really.
you would laugh.
If we just like let you have what happens after we get done filming, it wouldn't be coherent, but you'd at least hear how we plan things.
We could maybe do one of our Stitch with Us videos as a live video one week.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun.
What do you guys think? Would you come and comment and ask questions and see the craziness that happens when we're just sitting and chatting?
Yeah, because who knows what would happen then.
There would be lots of shenanigans.
Oh, too much. And maybe yells from my living room. You never know here.
What was he yelling earlier?
Oh, I heard him yell, "What snack?" And then I hear my husband go, "Okay, well, what snack do you want?" And he goes, "Oh, turt," which is how he says yogurt.
We all want a dirt.
Yes.
So anyway, I think that's probably about it for this week. It was a little shorter. Hopefully you still had as much fun watching, but I know we rambled.
Oh, oh, and the shenanigans. There's always some of those. It doesn't we could film for a minute.
So I really think there's nothing left to say except bye.
Bye. Have a good week.